Hey guys, I'm meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather, and this is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Let's first talk about the best odds of snow here for the next 5 to 7 days. And early in the period, it's going to favor the Pacific Northwest, BC, and probably the Northern Rockies. Then late in the period, like 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, it may be most of the West as the pattern changes. Also, in the Northeast, you can see Kellington is higher on the list. There are two potential storm systems. The first one, 25, 26, is trending weaker, but there's a second storm for 27, 28, which may end up being a little bit stronger, riding the coattails of the first one. So the two may impact the Northeast with two different shots of snow. So those are the areas really to favor and to focus on early and late in the period. I'll show you what I mean by that with the forecast maps coming up, but just a few of the things I'm watching. The Northeast, there's still a lot of uncertainty. It's been wild back and forth with this first storm potential on the 25th, 26th. Now it's looking a lot weaker, almost like an open wave, kind of just blowing through the Northeast. But the second storm may take advantage of the storm track that it leaves and kind of go through the same area. The Western Ridges, it's strong right now, but there's a low that will sneak beneath it in the coming days with some light snow in the Pacific Northwest, BC, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and northern Colorado. Then that will help to kind of break the high down, leaving the door open for a stronger second storm system late in the period, like 26, 27, 28, 29. So all of that is in my forecast. Let me show you what this looks like right now. This is infrared satellite. You can see the big high, but look at the low coming in. That's sneaking beneath it as we speak, with precip moving into the Pacific Northwest, BC, and eventually that'll slide, like I said, through Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and brushing Colorado on its way through. And then that becomes energy for the east and northeast parts of the country. The second low behind it is a much stronger area of low pressure. I think that one's going to be key in how we sort of handle the future with all of this. So, all of that is in my forecast. Let me just show you initially what I'm thinking here. So this is the jet stream pattern for the northeast on the 26th. So there's a storm before the one you see there, and it's the one that everybody's been talking about. But right now it looks much weaker, almost like you can't even tell where it's at. It's just blowing, sailing through the northeast with light snow accumulation. But that second low right there, that one may follow the path of the first and become a little more important. But right now, with that type of setup, this is all I'm forecasting. So through the 28th, there are two different shots of snow that you see here in these numbers. So it's 1 to 3 from the initial low, and then it's another probably 1 to 4 or 2 to 4 with the second. Now, if the second one strengthens, the numbers all go up. If the first one strengthens, the numbers all go up. But that's what it's looking like through the 28th at this point. So looking at the west, the ridge eventually breaks down. This is the 29th, the jet pattern. The ridge is gone. There are two different areas of low pressure with this type of setup. Again, late in the period, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, or beyond. This would be a much better setup for the west with widespread snow and colder temperatures expanding south, and it could potentially benefit California in some big ways. So let me just kind of show you what I'm thinking here. So this is all the way through the 24th. So through Thanksgiving, these are the numbers. And you can see it's kind of on a northwest diagonal. It's with that sneaking low that comes through Montana, Idaho, Pacific Northwest, BC, down into Wyoming, just barely brushes the Wasatch and into Colorado. We'll see how this plays out in Colorado. We'll see if it's more of a brush effect or if you actually end up with those numbers. Those numbers, we'll see. Let me show you the second period. This is when most of the action ramps up across the west. So this, I'm going way out, 25 through 30, all the way through the end of the month. Look at the big numbers. If the pattern sets up with the jet stream like I showed you, then these numbers are entirely possible with a lot of overrunning precip and very healthy orographic precip in California and into the interior, the Tetons, Wasatch. So again, these numbers are possible very late in the period. All right, thank you for tuning in here again. This is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Take care.